Hello and welcome back, internet people. I am your host, the Cinema Sesh, and for today's video, we are going to be reviewing the newest Edgar Wright film, The Last Night in Soho. Going into this, I had very high expectations. I was kind of intrigued by the trailers, thought it looked like something fresh and new, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. So like I said, Edgar Wright is the director of this film, and the most recent films I've seen him direct is Baby Driver, and that's about it until I saw Last Night in Soho. I did my research to find out what other type of movies he has directed in the past. I found out he directed Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which is a movie I don't really tend to care much about it. And I also, what is the other one? Shaun of the Dead. That one's not one I really care to see either. It kind of looks stupid to me, but that's just my take on it. We're here to talk about Last Night in Soho. The trailers for this movie really had me wanting to see it. It looked like something fresh and new, and it looked like a psychological thriller that was going to get fascinating as it goes on and on and on. Going into the second trailer that I saw, I felt that it might have gave a little bit too much away, so my expectations kind of went down a little bit, but it was still a very enjoyable watch, but it's not the greatest film ever made. I'll say that right now. So if that's all you want to hear, you can click off now, but it's just not the greatest film ever made. It's an enjoyable watch, but it's nothing crazy, and I don't expect for me to be watching it again. I'm going to be going into the plot basics now, so if you don't want to hear anything about this film, I'm going to have a slight spoiler and some slight plot points. So if you guys don't want to hear any of that, you can log off now, and I will catch you in the next video. But if you guys would do, stick around. In this film, we follow a young girl named Eloise, or Ellie for short, a young aspiring fashion student who is on her way to the London College of Fashion. She currently lived with her grandma, who is very overprotective of her due to her fact that she had mental health issues back in the past from her mother killing herself when she was 7 years old, and the fact that she has a sixth sense to be able to see her mother in some sort of visions or things like that. Anyways, she goes up to the College of Fashion, London College of Fashion, and when she gets there, obviously there's the mean girls that, to me, they killed the fucking vibe of this movie. Like, I understand there's bullies in movies for a reason, but these girls literally were in the movie too much for me to enjoy it. Like, anytime they were on screen, I was actually getting pretty pissed off because they were that annoying. So good job to the actresses that played them. Like, you guys did good. But the director, you guys don't need to use them that much. I get your point, what you're trying to do here. But anyways, that causes Ellie to move out of her dorm and find some peace and quiet in an old lady's 60-ish apartment room. Not apartment room, a spare room, I should say, a guest room, where she rents out and has to go work at a bar to pay this off. What Ellie doesn't know is the room she rented out also has supernatural events linked to it. The two of them are connected through that. And the very first night she goes to sleep, she wakes up in the middle of downtown South London, and she finds what seems to be a club that she really wants to go into. So she goes, and she sees in the mirror, not herself, but a young girl named Sandy. And Sandy was also there for a purpose. But Sandy's from the 1960s, and Ellie is viewing this from her dream. So she follows Sandy in the mirror, almost perfect synced in the reflections. It's pretty cool how they filmed it. And she sees her journey on how she wants to talk to the manager there to get her a job to be a singer, and she's really good at singing, so she's trying to become like the next thing. I guess this downtown South London, this is like the equivalent to Broadway. I don't know the name of it, but she's trying to like work her way up, and also she has to become buddy with all these guys to, like, you know, make her way up there. So she's not really down with that. So the story follows that, and you see Ellie every day. She goes to class, and her influences are based off these 1960 things that she sees in her visions, and she's really more focused on that than her school. But at the same time, she wants to become like a fashion designer, so she uses the dreams to help her career. But then things take a turn. I'm not going to go into any spoilers there, so that's all I'm going to say about the plot, and I'm going to tell you guys now about the reviews. I'm going to keep this quick and simple. The pros of this movie: you got Thomasin McKenzie. That's my girlfriend. I fucking love her. And she stole the fucking movie away. I think she carried this movie 100%. She definitely was the life of the movie. So I think she fucking killed it. And she's only 21, so expect to see her in a lot of big projects coming up after this. I mean, she was already in Jojo Rabbit. Still need to see that film. I'm excited to see that. And another pro, Anya Taylor-Joy. She killed it as well. Singing, I didn't know she could sing that well. What else was she fucking in? The Witch. I'm gonna watch that this weekend, make a review about it for Halloween. Yeah, they were probably the strongest parts of this film. Anya Taylor-Joy was probably like a 30% main character, but 70% like supportive, in my opinion. I know they're probably gonna go 50-50 if you really think about it, but half the movie, some of the times, like Anya Taylor-Joy's just walking over the way or down the street or some shit, and Thomasin McKenzie is the one who's really carrying this movie. So, with all that said, the cons, I gotta say it's the structure and a little bit towards the end. I think everything was going fine with me. I thought it would just be an all right movie, and then towards the end, they bumped my all right to a good movie, right? But then they also did some things where I was like, okay, yeah, I don't really like this as much anymore. So, with all that said, I know it was a kind of a longer video than usual. I'm gonna have to go with a probably like a thumbs up, a thumbs in the middle on this movie. It's all right. I can't see myself watching it again anymore. But like I said, Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy are worth the watch. That's like they carry this movie, and just alone to watch them two on the screen, I think that's good enough to give this movie a watch. But it's nothing great, and don't be surprised to have it on your top 10 of the year or whatever you want. So yeah, that's going to be my review on The Last Night in Soho. And the next movie I'm going to be reviewing is The French Dispatch. I'm going to be planning on seeing that this weekend. Going to have the video up for it. I mentioned I'm going to have my Halloween video up. I'm going to do something scary, probably The Witch. And then next Friday, double feature, I'm going to be doing Spencer. And then right after that, we have The Eternals. And I cannot wait to get my review out and my instant reaction straight out of the theater for that one. If you guys like this content, please subscribe. This has been the Cinema Sesh. So yeah, guys, everybody have a good night and just stay safe. Peace.